They no script. It's just cover two things that for the past weeks it's bugging a little bit in my head, which are hiring process for designers and job descriptions. Hey, Daniel here. How's it going? So it's been a while since these two topics are like somehow bugging my head because a lot of companies are trying to add as benefits something that I don't consider a benefit, and also after you apply, the hiring process can not play in your favor. So, how these two things can work together for better hiring and for successful careers within a company. That's what I'm trying to understand. And I have some ideas that maybe, I don't know, you can start trying, or even you can start to share this with hiring managers, with design managers, and within your company, or even within the design community. Who knows? So let's first talk about the job descriptions. Every time you're looking for a new job, you go to maybe LinkedIn, we work remotely, remote.co, Indeed, Glassdoor, Design X community on Slack, or Twitter. I don't know, someone referred you, etc. And you ask for the job description of that particular role. Special after the remote work starting to getting a lot of traction and a lot of attention from the media, companies started to how can I frame this? Put as benefit something that it shouldn't be added, and also they think it's a benefit, but it should be a right for the employees. Just for instance, like vacation, burnout is a thing in the tech industry. Not on the tech industry, but in the tech industry is even harder. When a company put 2 weeks of vacation, paid time off, 2 weeks on the job description, and also say you will earn a day, like another day in your vacation time per year you work within the company. So just for instance, basic math, if you work for a company for 6 years, you have 3 weeks of vacation. Nonetheless, it's hard nowadays to work more than 5 years in a company. We talk about layoffs in the previous episode. Plus, I was always almost forgetting this. 2 weeks paid time off, and probably your third week is the end of the year, which are Christmas and New Year's, where usually most of the companies like are not working. They give like this whole company vacation. So in this case, to have 4 weeks of vacation, you need to work for 6 consecutive years. I don't know. For me, it's really hard to understand why companies are always talking about avoiding burnout, being aware, being concerned with mental health for the employees, when they allow you to take just 2 weeks of vacation. Yeah, crazy. Plus other perks on job description, you can mention like bonus or health insurance or allowance for home office when the job description say it's hybrid or on site. There are companies that also shared on the job description that they pay gym membership, that they pay for gas if you work with your car, stuff like that that they advertise as a benefit. But come on, if a company hired you and asked you to use your own car to do the work, it should be more than a couple bucks for gas. What about insurance? What about maintenance? What about car losing value due to mileage. Those kind of things, and this is super tied to what I believe the remote work. It's like a path that once you start pursuing, you don't want to look back, because you have freedom to choose, you have freedom to decide those kind of things. Like, as a freelance, you have the ability to choose the best health insurance for you and your family. You can decide if you're gonna live in a place that you need a car or not. You will decide how your home office will be. You will decide when and for how long you take time off. Because as freelancers, as digital nomads, as remote workers, you can simply say, hey, I need more than 2 weeks. If you don't want to pay me, fine, I'll see you back in a month. I need my time. I need to clear my head. I'm not saying I'm quitting. I'm just saying I need some time. If you offer me 2 weeks paid, okay, I'll take these 2 weeks, but plus I'll take 2 more weeks without pay. Done. Would companies allow that? Not sure. So I think if we start to ask and question those kind of things on job descriptions when we're doing our interview process, you can understand what's the culture of the company that you're applying for. Something to think about. Hello. Yeah, me again. Close up more face to face. Did you subscribe or at least like this video? If not, now's the time. Thank you. And talking about the hiring process, this is something that I've tried in my last 2 companies that I work with. When I was part as senior designer and lead designer, and I think companies are not doing well with the hiring process, because I'm not here to trash talk HR people or saying they're not doing their jobs right. There are a lot of amazing HRs and recruiters doing amazing work with companies, and special recruiting agencies, etc. But there's a lot of people that are just lazy. They simply send a message on the LinkedIn saying that they have an opportunity for, let's say, a senior designer, when my profile says I'm a lead designer or design manager. So you're not reading my profile. And special, like when you're doing the process, when you accept the invitation, you do the first call with HR. That's fine. But the problem is the HR doing the first filter, doing the first selection. It's a problem for design teams, design managers. And I'm talking about design because I'm a designer. Not sure about developers or any other careers. But if you take a look like to any job opening, the average would be like 50, 60 applications with portfolios. And some people on the HR doesn't have the eye, doesn't have the experience of evaluating a portfolio, evaluating a work, a case study, a background, and they simply go by the resume. Yeah. So imagine if you're like a junior designer, you have like 2-3 years of experience in the field, and you are right now looking for a new gig to get a promotion. So you'd be looking to mid-level openings. And for those 2-3 years of experience, you work in 3 companies. So some HR can simply like remove you from the pile just because you stayed in one of the companies less than a year or less than 6 months. But they don't ask you why you decided to leave. What happened? How was the environment? How was for you to work in a company less than 6 months? And maybe your portfolio is super nice, your work is incredible, you have eye to detail, you have the pixel perfect approach, you have an amazing research background, you have an amazing storytelling, but they're removing you from the pile just because your resume. My idea with changing the hiring process is simply like say, let the designers do the first filter, let the people of that particular team do the first filter. So that maybe would help with the process, that maybe will help with the success of that person within that team, within that company, because it's them that people will work with. Let do the HR, do the last call, do the call about benefits, about a background, about, I don't know, whatever else the HR does. Last, allow the manager do the first filter, do the first 2-3 calls, no matter how long the process in your company is, because that will be more assertive. That will be more about the job that that person does. That will be more about the personality of that person, instead of simply read the resume and say, hey, this person here stayed in his or her last company for less than a year, or that person changed companies every year, and you simply remove that person from the pile without not even knowing the person. It's not quick to change, but at least give it a try. See you next time.